In the last month I got thirsty for a challenge, a Souls challenge. So in the last month I completed 100% of Elden Ring, Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 2. So it was time to end the trilogy and use all my accumulated experience to complete Dark Souls 3. Funny thing, Dark Souls 3 was one of the first games I bought back in 2018, but I never really played it because it felt really hard. So naturally I left it there to gather dust. It wasn't until 6 years later after playing Elden Ring that I found out that even if these games are hard, they are really enjoyable. So that put me on this mission of completing all Souls games. To be honest, it didn't occur to me to make a video out of this, so as I said before, I already completed Dark Souls 1 and 2 and Elden Ring, but this was taking a lot of time, so I said, well, let's do a video. So with half the achievements already completed, this journey continues. So as you can see, I don't have a lot to do, or so I thought. But in reality the worst was still to come. All this section is at the end of my first playthrough, and I was preparing the field for the New Game Plus. So I'm doing everything I can on the first playthrough before going to the next one. I started by getting all the Pyromancies I could get on the first run. Luckily for me, at this point of the game I got almost all of them already. The only ones left were some that were scattered around the world, so I picked this up and then I picked the tomes necessary to learn Pyromancies. Last but not least, I got all the soul trait Pyromancies. But sadly, I realized that the last Pyromancy I needed was a trait for the Stray Demon Soul, which I had already used at the beginning of the game to get Havel's Ring. So sadly, this last Pyromancy has to wait until New Game Plus. Next on my list were the Sorceries. So as it happened before, I already have almost all of them. There were only the Soul Trait Sorceries and the Eldritch Faithful Covenant left. So I traded the souls, but I realized that I was missing a soul to trade. More specifically, the Crystal Sage soul that I had used before to get her weapon. So then again, that sorcery has to wait until New Game Plus. The achievement that I was most concerned about was the Master of Rings achievement, because a friend have told me that it was really difficult. But spoiler alert, it isn't really. Anyway, I went ahead and picked up all the goddamn rings. Yeah, I know that it's like a 5-second sequence, but it was easily an hour. But with those out of the way, I have only 6 unique rings left, those being Covenant rings, Quest rings, and character rings that for whatever reason I could not obtain on my first run. Finally, it was time for the miracles. Throughout the game, I have already picked up all the tomes necessary to learn them, so I got started with that and learned all dark miracles and normal miracles. And since I was already in the Firelink Shrine, I went to trade all my souls. With those 3 out of the way, I still have 2 souls to trade, those being from bosses that I have not yet killed, but for now I went in search of the miracles that were in the world. The last miracles to obtain were from both the Warriors of Sunlight Covenant and the Dark Moon Blade Covenant. At this point I already had farmed all 30 sunlight medals, so I went to trade them, which took 2 more miracles out of the way. And the items from the Dark Moon Blade Covenant will have to wait until New Game Plus. You can see why. But hey, the achievement was worth it. Now I assure you, I can't even start to explain how demanding all the grinding was. It's really something that makes you reconsider all the choices you've made in your life that took you to this point. You know, grinding for hours just to get an item on a game. But of course that wasn't going to stop me. Sadly, for the sake of this video, before I started documenting everything, I have already farmed all 30 sunlight medals by repeatedly killing the Twin Prince as a Warrior of Sunlight. And 10 Concord Caps by farming Silver Knights. So this part of the journey starts with some Pale Tongue farming. There was not much left because I only needed 10 to obtain the important item of the Covenant, so once I got to 10 I went to trade them for the Obscurian Ring. My next step was the Watchdogs of Faron Covenant, so I started to farm Wolf's Blood Swordgrass. Although I needed 30 of these, it was the least demanding in terms of grinding, and I got all 30 of them in about 2 hours. Then I went to trade them for the Wolf Ring. Going back to the sorceries, beside the Crystal Sage Soul there was only one sorcery left, that is given by the Eldritch Faithful Covenant, which at level 1 gives you the sorcery. So I began to farm the human dregs by repeatedly killing these fuckers, but mostly by invading other worlds. This was easily the most fun I had farming these objects, because the Eldritch Covenant is still pretty alive, so you get to PvP other players. I mean, look at that. Hilarious, isn't it? So anyway, once I got 10, I went to the Fat Dead Guy and traded him for the sorcery. So for the last grinding, I needed the Vertebra Shackles from the Mountmaker's Covenant. It's important to me to clarify that I did not join this covenant because I didn't know of its existence, and with the choices I made throughout the game, there was no way for me to join now. But still, I wanted to farm the shackles before going to the next run, and let me break it down for you. It did not go well. In terms of 2 hours of grinding, I had only obtained 7 shackles. This was literally the Dark Souls of grinding. At this point I was exhausted. I was literally going back home from work, grinding, going back to work, and then farming again when I had the chance. So I said, fuck this. I decided to do the grinding on New Game Plus by joining the Covenant and having a friend help me. So now it was time to finish the first run. And to finish the first run, next on my list was the Nameless King. So I went to the Great Belfry, entered the mist, and killed him on my first... I said on my first... God damn it. On my first try. Yeah, that's better. And hey, 1 achievement! And for the grand finale, it was time for the Lord of Cinder, and I must say that I beat the shit out of him. But to be fair, I was pretty OP at this point of the game, and the fight was really fun though. So we kill him, and with that done, we have our first ending achievement. Now to finish off the first run, there was only 2 more things to do, and that was picking up the ring from this dead old guy and trading the souls we just got.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Before I start, I decided to do the Usurpation of Fire ending, just because it's the hardest one to do and requires some special steps. So in this run I'm only going to do quests that are necessary to get that ending and nothing more. But never mind that, let's get started. So we start the run as normal, rushing past everything, making our way to Gondor. That is of course an easy kill. And since I'm here I might as well just kill the samurai wannabe. Then we warp to the High Wall of Lothric and pick up the banner, and go fight Bord. That is of course another easy fight for us. Ahead we have some important tasks to attend to. First of all, send this guy to the shrine. And on the Undead Settlement, climb to this guy's back, and finally, get the Mudmaker's Covenant. Quick way back to the Firelink Shrine, we level up our Dark Sigil to level 5, and wait for the old guy to die so we can talk to Yuria. And buy the 2 rings I could not obtain on the first run, and with that we only have 2 unique rings left. We advance to the Halfway Forest and activate Angri's questline. And back to the Firelink Shrine we activate Ciri's questline. Back to the Roads of Sacrifice we go, and we have a super easy fight with the Crystal Sage. Making our way through Pharaon Keep, we pick the Dream Chaser ashes and kill the Stray Demon for his soul. Going back to the Firelink Shrine, we talk to Sorceries for the second time to obtain the Darkmoon Loyalty Gesture. Now we head ourselves to the Cathedral of the Deep, and with a little help from Anri, we kill the Deacons to obtain the doll. With the Deacons dead, next on our list are the Abyss Watchers, but first we obtain one of the remaining gestures. Now we go to the fight, but it's no surprise that it's very easy at this point. Then again, we go back to the shrine and talk to Anri so we can find her in the catacombs. Now for the sad part, we have to kill Horace and talk to Anri. With no effort, we kill Wolnir and head ourselves to Irithyll Valley to help Ciri on her fight. Now we can go back to the Firelink Shrine and talk to her to receive the Silver Cat Ring. And in the Church of Yorska we talk to Anri for the last time. So we keep going and fight Pontiff Sullivan. With him out of the way, we make a quick detour to kill Yorm the Giant. On our way to Anor Londo, I can finally join the Darkmoon Blade Covenant and obtain the last special ring, and the last miracles, giving me the Master of Miracles achievement. Finally, we met Anri for a last time and make her our spouse. And with that sad sacrifice, we have our ending all set up. Now, there's nothing left to do on this run except for getting all +1 rings. But before doing that, I cheese the shit out of Aldrich, and I go for the fight with the Boreal Dancer and I absolutely crush her. Finally, I quickly go to the Dragon Slayer armor and the Twin Prince and I kill them both. And now we can go for the rings. Sadly, I lost the material about the rings, but this is pretty straightforward. I don't even know what to say, I just looked up where each ring was and picked it up. Now it's time for an achievement that at the time I forgot about, and it's the Master of Infusion. It's pretty easy though. Off camera I picked up all 4 coals for the blacksmith, and now it's just a matter of infusing weapons with every stone. Well, that's it. Another achievement, yay! For this run there are only a few more things to do. First, I killed a lot of Cinder and got the usurpation of Fire ending, but before going for the third round, some more grinding was needed, but I didn't want to suffer anymore, so I called a friend to help me get the 22 vertebral shackles I had left. After some lightweight grinding, I went to the Covenant and claimed the Pyromancy, and last but not least, traded souls for 2 more sweet achievements. Finally, it's time for our final run, so we're gonna do this fast. We begin with a new weapon I want to try. We start as usual, kill Gundyr super easily thanks to our weapon, and kill the Samurai cause it's tradition, okay? We kill Bort, and the only thing that's important for this run besides picking up the remaining rings is to kill this invader here and here. Then we offer a pale tongue to Rosaria, and just like that, we have the last gesture. Now keep up with me people, this is going to be fast. Kill the Deacons, get the doll, kill the Abyss Watchers, kill Wolnir, kill the Giant, kill Pontiff, kill this bitch, kill the Dancer bitch, kill the Armor bitch. We absolutely destroy the twins, and now it's time for the fucking rings. Who the fuck decided that it was a good idea to put 116 rings in the game? Anyway, we finally have our rings achievement. And now finally, after all these hours, it's time for the final battle. And to that, our final achievement. Well, to wrap it up, Dark Souls 3 is a beautiful game. If you haven't played it yet, give it a try. Also play Dark Souls 1 and 2, they are great games. And Dark Souls 3 has definitely become one of my favorite games of all time. If you like the video, please subscribe, there's going to be more in the future, and feel free to leave a comment. Bye bye.